How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're looking at 3 amazing methods to level up your weapons in New World as fast as possible. Before we get into that, please consider giving the video a like and subscribing to the channel. It helps out massively. Now, let's get into it. To start with, when leveling your weapons, it's always best to be on double XP weapon tokens, which tons of these are given away on the free season passes, so you should have a few of these on your account already. And then, also having the All Together Now music buff on will also net you tons more XP. But you need to be in a group for that, so even if no one is around you, maybe have a company member or a friend group up with you just to get that extra XP. Also, respeccing your attributes into the weapon you want to level will significantly speed up your kills and gain you more XP. You can even go as far as putting on gear that makes you better with that weapon, but I don't feel like going that far is needed. Attributes should be enough. On screen, you'll be seeing a chart of all the XP required to hit each weapon level, so if you want to do any calculations, you can use that as a baseline. As you level your weapons up, choosing AoE skills and putting your points into perks that increase damage will significantly increase XP rates. Don't worry if they're not the abilities you want to use in the future, you can always reset them and choose new abilities after you've hit max level. And finally, all of these methods are easily soloable, but of course if you go in a group, you will get through the kills significantly faster and you'll end up with better XP rates. If you advertise in recruitment chat that you're leveling weapons in either of these methods, chances are you'll have a few people messaging you to join in on the fun and increase your kill speeds. Now that that's all out of the way, let's get on to the 3 methods. Method number 1 I like to call Baby Thorpe, and it's my favorite of the bunch. He's located over here in Great Cleave, and to get there, you'll want to teleport into the Aeternum shrine and walk up to his camp where he'll spawn. If your server is very populated, there's usually a few people here at all times, and if so, try to join in their group. If not though, this method can be done solo, it's just a bit slower. I like to advertise in the recruitment chat that I'm farming weapon XP here and invite people to come join me. Basically what's going to happen when you first come in this area is a quest will start called Cleave's Malice, and just go through all the parts of this quest until completion. From there, you will repeat this process over and over. It's a very relaxing process, especially the longer you do it and the more you get used to every wave. I like to throw on a podcast in the background, pop my double XP tokens and music buffs, and just grind until I achieve what I'm looking for. The first part of the event, you simply need to kill any 9 enemies around the area, which is pretty simple, and can go really fast in a group, but it's not the greatest wave for weapon experience. Then, after a quick 10-second intermission, wave 2 starts, which is basically the same as 1, with a bit more difficult mobs, and this time you only need to kill 5 enemies around this area. After another intermission, wave 3 starts, and it's just 3 enemies to kill just in front of the tent. If everyone knows what they're doing, this should take seconds, and they drop some loot too, so you can even possibly profit off this stage. Then, immediately after, you'll be thrown into wave 4, which is where the XP really ramps up. You're given 1 minute to kill as many monsters as possible, and they spawn really quickly. If you have a good group, and you're efficient, this wave can get you thousands of XP. The crawling mobs in this wave are especially weak, so I like to go after them. And if you spread out well, you can really benefit from this round. Also, if you put all of your attribute points into DPS for the weapon you're leveling, you can oftentimes find yourself one-shotting a lot of these mobs and getting massive XP bumps. Once that's done, you have your final wave in which you just need to kill Baby Thorpe. He'll spawn out of a portal just beside the front of the tent, and he's really easy to take down, especially if you have a group. He'll reward you with up to 2,000 weapon experience if you're buffed up and using XP tokens. Because he's so easy to kill, I like to use my weaker weapons that I'm leveling, like for instance the life staff on him, to slowly level them up, while using my stronger weapons on the other rounds where speed increases XP gain. From there, just wait a few seconds and the whole process will restart. It's a really simple and relaxing method you can do while watching other things on your second monitor. Plus, it's a great way to refill your Azoth when you're running low. But if you don't like this method, then I got you covered with 2 other great methods. Next up we got another great method in which you're going to want to head down to Restless Shores for. Teleport into the Sisyphus Shrine and then just walk a bit north to the first of 2 pirate camps called Channelview Post. In here, make a run around the whole camp, getting close enough to each enemy to gain aggro from them, and once you have them all pulled, just turn around and mow them down. These guys are leveled in their mid-40s and hit very low, so even with tons of them pulled, it's still really easy to solo grind them down. While they're respawning, you head to the next camp right beside it called Ocean View Post, and do the same as you did in the first camp. Then head back to camp number 1, and they should have respawned by this point. Just continue the process from here, going back and forth between spots. This works for any weapon, but of course weapons with more AoE helps a lot when you're soloing. Also, groups will speed up the process. Plus, it'll allow you to gain your XP buff. Once you've run the route a few times, it becomes second nature, and so easy that you can throw something on the second monitor and grind your weapon levels out on the side. This method is a bit more click intensive than the Thorpe method, but still a phenomenal way to level your weapons, and it's my second favorite way to do so. And finally, we have the Elite Points of Interest method. Basically, any of these elite areas works, but I like to stick to Brightwood Isle, since it's the lowest level one, and I can get through more monsters quickly. To get here, you're going to want to teleport into either of the shrines around the island, and then proceed onto it. Just like in the previous method, pull a bunch of enemies, and then turn around and wipe them out. Because these are elite level enemies though, with low level weapons, and depending on how good your gear is, you might want to play around with a few of the enemies first to see how many is good amount for you to pull. They are still pretty weak, but certain enemy types can be a bit of a pain, so get a feel with how many you're comfortable pulling at a time, and then go from there. Just keep going back and forth across the island, killing everything as they respawn. Do be warned though, the Gravedigger mobs can be a bit annoying at times due to their turnaround move, and they have high HP. So sometimes if you have a lot of them aggroed already, you might want to turn around and finish them off before getting more. Also, the exploding enemies are easy free XP if you play your cards right. These are the only monsters that you need to tag with a hit from the weapon as you go by them. Then, simply keep running your route, and within a few seconds they will explode, giving you free XP for one hit. If you do not hit them, you will not get credit, so make sure to tag them. You can rack up tons of XP grinding here, and it's a great spot, but because the mobs are a bit more dangerous, I find it's more click intensive than the other methods, and that's why I have it down as my third favorite spot. If you're planning on using the weapon you're leveling as your main weapon though, it could be a great spot to level it while getting used to some of the skills and mechanics of that weapon, since these mobs will take a few more hits to go down. But that covers the 3 best spots to level weapon XP in New World. I'll give a quick special shout out to chest runs and portal runs as another viable method. Simply join any of the trains being advertised in World Chat and have the weapon you want to level equipped, and you should get tons of XP just for following your teammates around, and you'll be making some good gold on the side as well. But let me know which is your favorite method. Have you tried all of these? And which is your go-to spot? For me, it's hard to beat Baby Thorpe. And also, if you have any other spots that I didn't mention but you enjoy to grind in, then let me know in the comments below, so we can let other people know other cool spots to be grinding their weapon levels. Also, while you're at it, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out massively. But until next time, have a good one. Thanks for watching another video. If you'd like to see more New World content, then click on any of the videos on screen now. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.